5 ways to set yourself up for success in the garden. Essentially, if you've got alkaline soil, don't try and grow rhododendrons. That's the kind of thing we're talking about. Every plant has its place, and whatever you've got, soil type, light-wise, there will be plants that will thrive in whatever situation your plot is. Even wind, even deepest, darkest shade, there will be plants that will absolutely love it. It is incredibly easy to be wooed by beautiful plants in nurseries. We've all done it. I'm surrounded by plants that I couldn't resist, and I've shoehorned them in left, right and centre. But if you do your research, if you ask the nurseryman or woman, how does this plant grow? What's its habit like? There are plants that will be too huge and unruly for a small garden, or perhaps it's going to seed incontinently and be way too much maintenance for the kind of time you have to give to your garden. So if you do your research, you're really setting yourself up for success in terms of how big a plant grows, how much of your time it needs to make it look brilliant and to help it make your garden look great. If you've got your plant and you've arrived home, it's easy to have a frenzy of activity and forget about it, but it's all about care to make your plants flourish and thrive. Now, when you've got your plant, try to dig a hole that's a bit bigger than the pot it's in. Free up the soil around it a little bit so its roots can get into that soil. And depending on the plant, it may want some well-rotted manure or pelleted chicken manure at the bottom. And what it will definitely want is a good amount of water, even if it's a dry-loving plant. To help it establish, to help it really set up home in your garden, you need to keep it well watered for the first couple of months that it's there to help it get established, and then you can hopefully leave it to its own devices depending on what the weather throws your way, and it should become very happy living in your garden. It's easy to grow things because, again, you're wooed by a plant or a seed packet, but grow what you love, not just what other people tell you should grow. You may find you get a great crop of broad beans, but if you don't actually enjoy eating them, fair enough, your neighbours and your relatives may love you for all the broad beans you give to them, but you're not really going to feel very inspired by what you're growing. So grow what you love, whether you're eating it, looking at it, cutting it to bring into the house, and that will help keep you inspired as you start your gardening adventure. It's easy to have a week off work or a bank holiday and think, right, over this time period, I am going to create a perfectly manicured garden. But generally, these things do better over time. And especially if you move into a new garden, wait and see what bulbs come up over spring, whether the tree in your garden provides beautiful blossom or delicious fruit, or maybe it's rubbish and it needs to go. Find out where you walk. That will help you decide where you should have paths. And where is the light in your garden? If it's all at the bottom, then that's likely to be the place you head with a bottle of wine after work, or where you end up dragging the barbecue when you've got friends coming round. So why not structure your garden around that light so that breakfast or evening you can really relish where you get that little sun trap. And even when you've got plants, try positioning them and seeing how they look in that place before you put them in the ground. If you leave the pot there, keep it watered, but leave it there for a couple of days and just see how it looks. And you'll probably find that you end up planting it in a better place and enjoying the design of your garden even more for the time you've taken to dwell on how you think it should all be plotted out.